Hey guys, and welcome back to another Hypixel API tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going over the recentGames endpoint on the Hypixel public API. Now, the recentGames it used to be automatically supported and built in to the player stats endpoint. So just /player and then question mark key, whatever. However, that has recently been discontinued. So this is actually the third version of recentGames. So there's recentGames previously known as match history. So that was match history version 1. And that was discontinued and then reformed into match history 2. Match history 2 was uh, very nice, I gotta say. It was extremely ideal. However, some people on the Hypixel server decided to boost, and we could track boosters. I famously made a script that tracked and found boosters, so people who were abusing alts and stuff to get free stats in games that they shouldn't have been able to get, specifically on the Hypixel Duels Bridge 4 teams leaderboards. Uh, yeah, so I specifically made a script for that, and a few other people in the community made scripts for that, and these boosters found out that they could get caught for breaking the rules through this match history. And because of this, they actually sent in a support ticket for Hypixel to remove it because they said we're using it to snipe them, when in reality we were just discovering that they were cheating, or not cheating, but breaking the rules to get an unfair advantage in their stats, right? To get on leaderboards and such without actually having the effort required or the skill required to get on said leaderboards. And Hypixel, I don't want to specifically name which admins because I don't know who exactly agreed to this, and I'm not going to bother saying the name of the person who specifically responded to the ticket. But they basically said, yeah, sure, we'll remove it. So it's made it a lot harder to track boosters. However, as you guys may know, I've put a lot of effort into it, and I've made updated systems that are almost as good as they used to be, but still impossible to get anywhere near as far, and it's really set us back in terms of tracking boosters. So sucks on Hypixel's part, but I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the recent games that they currently have implemented, which is like Match History version 3, but it's called recentGames now. And it's garbage, okay? It's garbage because it's opt-in and opt-out. So players can go on the Hypixel server and they can just opt out of having the option here. And here specifically, I'll show you that most people have it turned off. In fact, I searched hundreds of players to try and find someone who had this turned on. No one has it turned on because no one wants to have it turned on because people can use it to snipe you. Okay? So nobody uses this. But because of this, we also can't track boosters, right? We can't verify that games were played legit, which is very sad. And even now, with what it is, they don't list the previous list of players. So if we wanted to get something close to what match history used to be, we'd have to take everybody's recent games and make them all opt in 100% of the time, right? So don't allow the option to opt out. And then we'd have to manually compile lists to match IDs and game times played to try and build our own lists and all this nonsense, and we'd have to have a list of every player on the server and yada yada, and it's just so much more effort. I'm going to show you guys why this is garbage. Basically, this is an example of someone who has it turned off because I couldn't find someone who had it turned on. So this is Apple Pies. We're going to be using UID because you can't use name for this, unfortunately. I just want to keep that so you know it's Apple Pies. This is his UID. This is my API key. If you haven't watched the first episode on how to get your own API key, go ahead and do that. Don't try using this one. This is my API key. It'll be invalid by the time you're watching this video. For the URL for this, it's going to be very similar to what we used to do. So just https //epi.hypixel.net / and then we're checking the recent games endpoint, so / recent games, question mark, and then one parameter that's required at the start. As always, it's going to be your API key, so we've got key is equal to API key, and then another parameter specifically for this endpoint that is required is the UID endpoint. Can't use name, gotta use UID, that's how it is. And I'll show you guys what this looks like. If I go ahead and show you guys, I'll turn on my command prompt so you guys can see, we'll run it. And it's empty. It's empty, you get success, true, so this is actually what it's supposed to send back, and we've got games, and look, empty array, because it's got it turned off. Because everybody's got it turned off nowadays. And I'll show you guys, this isn't, it's supposed to look like this. I can show you guys in my Firefox. So it looks like in a Firefox, it's just an empty array, it's not a folder, I can't open it. The only way I can show you guys what you're actually supposed to get out of here is using the documentation. So let's take a look at that documentation. So here I'm on the public API on Hypixel Dev under documentation methods recentGames MD. This link will be in the description in case you want to refer to it later. We've got a brief description of what it does. So it lists up to the most recent 100 games, and they're only stored for up to 3 days. The Hypixel PlayStats API, Matches 3.2, used to log the most recent 50, I believe it was, or something like that, most recent X amount, for duels specifically. I should mention that Match History used to only be for duels, I believe. And I think, no, actually, it may have supported other games. I'm not sure. I forget. It's been such a long time. I have to look into it again. But there was no timer on it. But here there's a 3-day timer on it, which makes it even worse. Already nobody uses it, though, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And as I've already stated, players can disable this endpoint via in-game settings. When done so, the API will return as if there are no games played. This is very unfortunate. Anyways, that's what it's supposed to look like for someone who actually has it turned on, which is, a dream come true, I guess, but it's so rare. It's like a unicorn. So success true, and then I'm going to start. This is an example of a game that has already ended. So we've got the Unix for date, and Hypixel Unixes always include milliseconds. If you're looking Unix timestamp, like only seconds, that you're looking for this, and if you're looking with milliseconds, then you also include the last 3 digits. And then there's another Unix timestamp for game ended. Now, if you look at this first one up here, this game is still going on. So it hasn't ended yet, so there's no ended yet. So you got to verify that there's ended before, you can't just assume that it's there. It might not be there. There's game type, if there's a game type. There's mode, if there's a game mode. And there's a map, if there's a game map. These aren't always present. Generally, there are some exceptions, but I just know that. And then obviously, as you'll see, inconsistencies with game modes and stuff. So like here, this Skywars is ranked normal. And here it's all caps. There's some consistency where the game type is usually all caps. I can vouch for that. I very rarely have seen it not all caps. But the mode, sometimes it's caps, sometimes it's not caps, sometimes there's weird spacing in it, sometimes there's like weird abbreviations, and oh god, I hate it. So just have fun with that. I don't know what to say. This is very useless API endpoint nowadays because Hypixel has decided to encourage boosting or to discourage players going out and tracking boosters, which I guess it means they're very confident in their own ways of doing this. However, anybody who has seen the duels leaderboards recently can vouch that they're garbage at it. So hopefully that improves in the future. Anyways, that's been this video. Not much to say. Ask questions if you have any questions regarding this API tutorial in the description. Not in the description, in the comments. And I'll hopefully help you out because I read every comment nowadays. And then like the video if you found it helpful by any means. Although I doubt people are really going to be using this. Although it would be cool to make a compilation of players who have it turned on just to see who has it turned on, And then, yeah, there's that. Subscribe if you want to stay up to Dutch with my tutorials. But that's been this Hypixel quite useless endpoint API tutorial.